Hi, this is Pat, and in this video we're going to be talking about images and specifically responsive images. How is it that we can have images that adjust based on the screen resolution of the device where we're seeing those images? So in this example we can see that as we adjust the screen size, the images adjust and retain their proportion. We can also see that as we move to mobile devices, the images fit nicely across the mobile device and don't exceed the bounds of the mobile device. This is what we call responsive images. So when working with responsive images, there's a few things to keep in mind. And the first is that the image is going to display based on the width that it's set at, and the height is going to display based on the proportion of the image. So in this example, we can see that this image is 286 pixels wide by 400 pixels tall. And this image is 287 pixels wide by 400 tall, so it's just 1 pixel taller. And then we can take a look at this image, and we see that this image is 267 pixels by 400 pixels. So even though each of these images has the same height, because the width of the image varies, the proportion of those images vary. So if we wanted to have these images display at exactly the same height on all of our screen resolutions, we would need those images to start off being the same size. So let's take an example of how we can work on that in the management system. In this example, we'll go to the home page, and when we take a look at the image and select the image tool, we can see that these images are set using percentages. So each image in this example is set at 100% of the area that it's being contained in. So adjusting those image heights and making those images all the same size will allow those images to display uniformly and equally across that horizontal bar. So to do that, I'm going to use my image editor, which I use Photoshop to manage my images, but there's a lot of different ways that you can manage the images that you have and make sure that they're all the same size. There's a number of free web resources, and we'll take a look at that later in this video. Alright, so everyone's workflow is a little different, but let me show you how I would handle this situation. The first thing I'm going to do is copy the image, and then I'm going to make a new template for that image. And I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to go ahead and crop this image a little bit right now just to try to remove some of that parking area from the front of this photo. Alright, so now that I've got that just where I want, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to create a new template for this area. Alright, so now I've got one image with the size that I want the final images to end up in. So I'm going to just copy the other images and I'm going to just paste them and arrange them just as I would like in the final presentation. So let's put that one there, and let's go back over and grab the cross and copy that image. I'm going to paste that. Now I need to adjust it a little bit because see, it doesn't fill the whole width. So let's do that, and I'm going to apply those changes. And then my last image, I'm going to copy that image and paste it in, and I'm going to adjust its size just a little bit so that it fits nicely in the area that we're working with. All right. Now that I've got those images all the same size, I can simply export those and save them for the web, and I'll do that now. Now that I have all those images saved, I'm just going to go ahead and add them to my image library. Now that I've selected them all, I can just simply click Upload, and these images are going to show up in my image library momentarily. While those images complete their processing, I'm just going to delete these old images from the feature area. Now that those images have completed uploading, I can refresh my editor window and they will show up down in my edit area here. And I can simply drag those into the feature area that I want to use them on. And I do notice I have a little extra space at the top here, so I'm just going to remove that. And then I'm going to select each image in the class, and for this example we want them to all be at 100%, and so we're just going to select that on each of the images, and one more. Now I'm going to click Update. Now if we go back to our site and we refresh, we'll see all of these images at exactly the same height, and regardless of what screen resolution we view these images on, they're going to adjust to be just the same proportion that they start at. So the key to working with responsive images is to ensure that they're the same height. So let's take another look at another online example of how we can adjust those image dimensions using some free web software. All right, so I've just gone to Google and I've searched for image editor, and I'm going to select the first one, Pixlr Editor. And one of the things I like about this one is that we can open images directly from a URL. I'm going to grab the full resolution URL and paste that in and say OK. And that brings up my image editor. All right, so now I can make sure that these images all have the exact same image canvas size. And so I can set these based on pixels or percents, and I can adjust them using my cursor or my keyboard. So once those images are all the same size, I can save that image on my computer and title it and what have you, and then place that in a place on my computer where I can find it and upload it again. So I hope this tutorial has helped you and given you some ideas on how you can manage images in a responsive website. Thanks.